Hello everyone and welcome to this video where we are discussing the board paper pattern for the history and political science paper for standard 10th. Now surely you finished your 9th standard examinations and I hope you fared really well in those, but now's the time to gear up for your 10th standard exam preparation. And to do that, the first thing you must understand is the paper pattern of every subject. So let's begin with the history and political science paper pattern for standard 10th. You know that this paper consists of 60 marks and you will be given 2.5 hours to attempt this paper. Let's take a look at the overview of the paper pattern. The first 40 marks of this paper are dedicated to the history section and the next 20 marks are dedicated to the political science section. Let's first discuss the history section of this paper pattern. As you can see in the history section, overall you will have 5 questions. In the first 3 questions, you have sub-questions of A and B, and question 4 and question 5 are independently also given. Now, this is your overall paper pattern. Here, I want you to take a look at the fact that question 1A and B do not have any options, which means they are compulsory questions, as also is question number 4. Besides that, as you can see, there are plenty of options in your paper, and you have a lot of marks that can be scored in such a paper pattern. So let's discuss this paper pattern question by question. Question 1A deals with choosing the correct alternative and writing the complete statement. This question is of 4 marks, and as I have said before, there are no options, so it's a compulsory question. I would like to point out at this junction that we have provided in our target publications, history and political science notes, plenty of examples to help you tackle any type of question that you could be dealing with in your examination. So here, as you can see, for the first question, that is choosing the correct alternative, we have given you ample practice so you can score maximum marks. The first question is a 4-mark question. You will be given 4 questions of 1 mark each, and to deal with this question, we have given you a large number of examples. The most important point to remember here is that it is necessary and compulsory for you to rewrite the entire statement. Let's move on to question 1B. In question 1B, you are asked to identify the incorrect pair and write the correct ones, which means that not only must you identify which pair is incorrect, but you must also rewrite the correct pair. As you can see, this is also a compulsory question because there are no options. It carries 4 marks. So again, you have 4 questions of 1 mark each. In each of these questions, as you can see from our target notes, you will be given 4 pairs and one of these pairs is incorrect. And this incorrect pair you have to identify and rewrite in your paper. And then after identifying the incorrect pair, you also have to correct the pair and write the correct pair below it. But keep in mind, while you are writing the correct pair, you have to only correct the options in column B and not change anything in column A. So as you can see, our note provides you with ample practice to deal with this question also. Next, we move on to question 2A. In question 2A, we are asked to complete the activity as instructed. Here is the first time you're given options in your paper. You will be given 3 questions where you have to attempt only 2. This carries 4 marks, which means each question is a 2-mark question. Now, completing the activity means you could be asked either complete the table, or you could be asked to complete the concept map, or you could even be asked to complete the timeline. Now, as you can see, we have covered every single type of question that you could be asked in our notes, and that's why I am showing you here that you will find every single type in our target publications, history and political science book. We come to question 2B, which deals with writing short notes. Here again, you will be given 3 questions, out of which you have to attempt only 2. This question is also worth 4 marks. Each question is worth 2 marks. Let's take a look at what we have given you in our target notes. As usual, we have covered as many as possible short notes in our notes so that you can tackle this question as well. Question 3A deals with explaining the statement with reasons. Now remember, not only do you have to explain the statement, but you have to give justifiable reasons for the same. This question will be of 6 marks, and here you'll be given 5 questions, out of which you have to attempt only 2, which means each question is a 3-mark question. Let's take a look at the examples that we have provided. We have given you a large number of examples in every single chapter of your book for dealing with explaining this statement and give reasons questions. Next, we come to question 3b. Now, in this question, you have to answer in brief. This again is a question with options. You will be given 3 questions, out of which you have to attempt only 2. This is also a 6-mark question, which means each question is of 3 marks. You can see that we have provided you with these questions in our books as well. Next, we come to question 4. Question 4 is comprehension type question, which means you have to read the passage given to you and answer the questions based on it. Let's take a look at one of these questions. As you can see, you will be given a passage, and based on that passage, you will be asked 3 questions. The first 2 questions will be of 1 mark each, and the third question will be of 2 marks. Overall, this will be a 4-mark question. Finally, we come to the last question in the history section, that is the answer the questions in detail, which is nothing but your long answer questions. Now, this carries a lot of marks. You'll be asked 4 questions, out of which you have to attempt only 2. This is for 8 marks, which means each question carries 4 marks each. Now, remember, in this section, that is in answer in detail, they could either ask you to write an answer based on a direct question. For example, here the direct question has been asked, so you can write a direct answer for 4 marks, but they could also ask you the new type of question, that is the picture based question. They will give you a picture, and identifying that picture and studying that, you'll be asked different questions for 4 marks. And here is where we have given our best shot to give you the large number of questions which are picture based. Almost all the images that you will see in your textbook have been converted into picture-based questions, especially to deal with this type of questions which usually students find difficult to solve. Now, this covers our history section. Let's move on to the political science question. The political science section is a 20-mark section, and it covers questions 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let's take a look at question 6. Question 6 is again choosing the correct alternative and rewriting the statement. This is for 4 marks. It is also compulsory, and here again you'll be given 4 questions of 1 mark each. So we have of course provided you with the different types of questions for practice to deal with this question, even in the political science section. The next question is question 7. Where you have to explain whether the statement is true or false and give reasons for the same. So here you can see you will be given 3 questions, out of which you will attempt only 2. This is a 4-mark question, which means each question is of 2 marks each. So as you can see, a large number of questions have been given for practice. A plethora of such examples will equip you to deal with your paper in the best way. Question 8a. Question 8a deals with explaining the concept, which is also what we call as writing short notes. This again is a question where you will get 3 questions, out of which you attempt only 2. Each is of 2 marks, so this is a total 4-mark question, which is obviously covered in your target publications, history and political science notes for standard 10. Next we come to question 8b. Question 8b deals with do as directed or instructed. This question is of 4 marks. You will be given 3 questions, out of which you attempt only 2, each of which is of 2 marks. Now remember, this question is very similar to the question you will see in your history paper, which means here also you could be given a concept map which you have to complete, and here you could also be asked to complete the flow chart or complete the timeline. And as usual, our instruction remains the same. Remember to redraw the diagram in your paper and then complete it. And as you can see, we have covered every single type of question that could possibly be asked in your exam paper. Finally, we come to the last question of your paper, that is question 9. That is answering the questions in brief. You'll be asked to write only 2. You'll have 4 questions given to you. You have to choose any 2, and each of these will be of 4 marks. So this is the long answer question, of which we have given you plenty of practice in our target notes. Now this completes the general paper pattern that I wanted to explain to you, but I also want to point out that we remain true to our motto that we believe in building powerful concepts with target, and to sincerely push this idea of building powerful concepts, we have provided some extra tidbits in our books. For example, we have included something called as reading between the lines. This section is included below an answer, wherein this information which is put in this section is essential to understand the answer. Now keep in mind, this information may not be necessary to write in the answer in your paper, but it is absolutely essential if you want to completely understand what the answer is standing for. So this extra bit of information which helps you understand is given to you in the section reading between the lines. We have also provided our very own mascot, that is the Gyan Guru. With Gyan Guru, we give you some general information that is interesting and fun that we think you would enjoy, and this is also been added in our books wherever it was possible. So this completes what we mean by building powerful concepts with target. Finally, we have also included the section to test your understanding, which means that you have been provided with a model question paper. Finally, I'd like to point out that our question paper is built exactly as per the paper pattern, so that you will have the exact practice that you need to actually attempt your paper when it comes to it. So this is the model question paper that has been included in your book. And with the cherry on top, we have also included the board question paper, that is the 2019, the latest board question paper for this paper, also in our target publications notes. So as you can see, we have thought of completely everything. This completes what I wanted to talk to you about. Finally, I'd like to say that with the new paper pattern, we have reached the point where history is no longer an old archaic subject, but now includes a lot of cultural history, where we learn about the history of tourism, the history of art, India's place in world history, in terms of media, in terms of games, in terms of entertainment. So this is a history which is more relatable to the generation today. It's very interesting. So I hope you will take the time out to actually read your chapters, because that's only when you'll be able to score the best out of the marks that you require in your paper. So thank you for watching this video.